Scene script. Have you ever found yourself pondering the existence of mythical creatures? Specifically, mermaids? Mermaids, the ethereal beings of the sea, have been the subject of fascination for centuries. With their human-like upper bodies and fish-like tails, they have been woven into the tapestry of folklore across a multitude of cultures, from the ancient Greeks to the indigenous tribes of the Americas. Their allure is undeniable, as they simultaneously embody the beauty of the human form and the mystery of the ocean depths. Across the span of human history, mermaids have held a myriad of roles in our collective imagination. In some tales, they are benevolent creatures, guiding lost sailors to safety. In others, they are deceptive sirens, luring seafarers to their doom with their enchanting songs. Regardless of the role they play, these stories often reflect our own human fears and desires, projected onto these fantastical creatures. The belief in mermaids is not limited to the realm of mythology and folklore. Anecdotes of encounters with these aquatic humanoids have been shared by sailors, explorers, and coastal dwellers throughout the ages. These accounts often describe sightings of creatures with long, flowing hair, enchanting voices, and most distinctively, the unmistakable fish-like tails. However, alongside these captivating tales, there is a wave of skepticism. Critics argue that the so-called mermaid sightings can be attributed to misidentifications of marine animals such as manatees or seals. Moreover, they contend that the myth of mermaids is perpetuated by our human tendency to seek patterns and assign human characteristics to the unknown. Despite the skepticism, the idea of mermaids continues to captivate us. They represent a bridge between our known world and the unexplored mysteries of the deep sea. Whether they are real or not, they have undeniably left a lasting imprint on our collective psyche. So we've seen that belief in mermaids isn't just a flight of fancy, but has deep historical roots. But what evidence is there, if any, to support their existence? Over the years, numerous pieces of evidence for the existence of mermaids have been put forth. Let's scrutinize a few. First off, we have ancient accounts. Historically, there are numerous accounts of mermaid sightings. Christopher Columbus, during his exploratory journeys, reportedly saw 3 mermaids in the Caribbean, although he did note they were not as beautiful as depicted in stories. The Greeks and Romans had their own tales of merfolk, which they called Nereids and Tritons, respectively. Then there are the folklore and legends. Nearly every coastal culture has its own mermaid folklore. From the sirens of Greek mythology, the Selkies of the Scottish and Irish coasts, to the African water spirit Mami Wata, mermaids have been a part of human storytelling for centuries. Now let's move to modern sightings. Even today, people claim to see mermaids. In 2009, several residents of the Israeli town of Kiryat Yam reported seeing a mermaid off the coast, with one offering a $1 million reward for proof of its existence. However, no such proof has been provided to date. The last category is controversial videos, and boy, are there a lot of them. One of the most debated is Animal Planet's mockumentary, Mermaids, The Body Found. The film presents itself as a documentary, using fictional footage and interviews to prove the existence of mermaids. Despite the disclaimers stating the content is fictional, many viewers believed it to be real, sparking a surge of mermaid believers. Now let's critically analyze these pieces of evidence. Ancient accounts and folklore, while intriguing, are just that, stories. They could be the product of overly creative minds or perhaps misinterpretations of unfamiliar sea creatures. Modern sightings are even more difficult to verify. Without concrete evidence, these sightings often boil down to personal anecdotes and hearsay. As for the controversial videos, well, they're often created for entertainment, not scientific proof. They're designed to make us question, to entertain us, and perhaps even to fool us. Skeptics argue that the evidence for mermaids is weak at best. They point out that real evidence would include physical remains or clear, indisputable footage, neither of which we currently have. They also suggest that many reported mermaid sightings could be explained by known animals such as seals, manatees, and dugongs. While some of this evidence might seem compelling, it's important to remember that none of it has been definitively proven. So where does that leave us? Now, let's see what science has to say about the possibility of mermaids. The scientific community, always eager to explore the uncharted territories of our world, has certainly not turned a blind eye to the mermaid phenomenon. A popular theory that has been tossed around is the aquatic ape theory. This hypothesis suggests that millions of years ago, some of our primate ancestors adapted to a semi-aquatic lifestyle, leading to physical changes like the development of webbed fingers and a streamlined body. Sounds a bit like a mermaid, doesn't it? But hold your seahorses. The aquatic ape theory, while intriguing, doesn't have broad support among scientists and is mostly considered a fringe idea. Another possible explanation for mermaid sightings is the concept of pareidolia. This is a psychological phenomenon where the mind perceives a familiar pattern where none actually exists. Think of seeing shapes in clouds or faces in inanimate objects. So those sailors of yore spending months at sea might have seen a manatee or a large fish, and their minds, craving human interaction, transformed it into a beautiful mermaid. But what about the official standpoint of the scientific community? Well, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, the U.S. government agency responsible for the condition of the oceans and the atmosphere, made a statement in 2012. They declared unequivocally that no evidence of aquatic humanoids has ever been found. That's pretty clear-cut, isn't it? So while the romantic notion of a half-human, half-fish creature is certainly alluring, it seems science is more inclined to chalk it up to misinterpretations and myths. From evolutionary biology to psychology, the scientific evidence, or rather the lack thereof, points towards mermaids being creatures of folklore rather than of the deep blue sea. It's clear then that from a scientific perspective, the existence of mermaids is highly unlikely. So do mermaids really exist, or is it all just a myth? Let's summarize what we've discussed. We began our journey with the enigmatic existence of mermaids. We delved into the roots of our history, exploring tales and folklore that have, for centuries, painted vivid images of these half-human, half-fish beings. From ancient civilizations to medieval Europe, mermaids have been a constant presence, a testament to our fascination with the unknown and the unexplored. Then, we unveiled the evidence, the recorded sightings, the mysterious artifacts, the compelling stories of encounters. Each piece of evidence, whether compelling or questionable, adds another layer to the intricate puzzle that is the mermaid mythos. Some believe they've seen these aquatic beings with their own eyes, while others hold on to artifacts as proof of their existence. Science, ever the rational voice, weighed in next. We discussed how the scientific community views the existence of mermaids. While there is no concrete evidence to support the existence of mermaids, science hasn't completely debunked the possibility either. The vastness of our oceans, much of which remains unexplored, leaves room for endless possibilities. Could mermaids be one of them? The science as of now remains inconclusive. And so we arrive at our verdict. The question still stands. Do mermaids really exist, or is it all just a myth? The answer, it seems, is as elusive as the creatures themselves. The truth may lie somewhere in the middle, in the gray area between fact and fiction, between what we know and what we yearn to discover. We encourage you to form your own opinions. Let the information sink in, ponder upon it, and decide for yourself. Are mermaids real, or are they simply figments of our collective imagination? Whether you believe in mermaids or not, one thing is certain. They continue to captivate our imaginations and inspire a sense of wonder about the unknown depths of our oceans. We've taken a deep dive into the enigmatic world of mermaids today. Our journey has led us through the labyrinth of folklore and myth, scientific analysis, and even personal testimonies. What have we discovered? That the answer remains as elusive and intriguing as the subject itself. Yet this journey underscores a significant truth: the power of critical thinking. It's crucial to scrutinize evidence, question prevailing beliefs, and maintain an open mind. The mermaid debate is just one of the myriad mysteries that invite such exploration. So, what do you believe? Does the realm of the deep conceal these mythical creatures, or are they simply figments of our collective imagination? We would love to hear your thoughts, so please share your views in the comments section. Thank you for joining us on this intriguing exploration. Don't forget to subscribe for more thought-provoking content.